If the camera hadn't been there, nobody would believe what this dog did for the baby. The parents had been fighting for weeks. The father was convinced the golden retriever was a threat. The mother begged for one final chance. They set up a camera and gave it 10 minutes. What they discovered changed everything they thought they knew. The baby was giggling, the dog was watching. And when the vacuum rolled closer, the shocking truth was finally revealed. Before you watch, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss another touching story like this one, and write in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is there. The day started with another argument. "I'm finished talking about this, Sarah." Michael brought his hand down hard on the kitchen table, making the spoon bounce and fall. "That dog is going away. I've already contacted the shelter. They're coming to get him today. I don't care what you say. He's dangerous." Sarah held her daughter tighter, the little girl sitting on her lap in her pink sweater with tiny flowers on the arms. The baby's eyes went wide when she heard the loud voices. Sarah's chest was moving fast as she tried to stay calm. "You're not taking him anywhere. He's done nothing bad, Michael. Nothing at all." "Nothing bad?" Michael shouted back, his face turning red. He pointed at the golden retriever lying on the living room floor. "Just look at him watching her like that, always right next to her when she's crawling around. One bite, one wrong move, and she's gone. Do you want to risk that?" "I don't." Sarah shook her head, her face tight with anger. "You're not getting it. He's not planning to harm her. He's looking after her. He understands she's little. He understands she depends on him." Michael laughed in a mean way. "He's just a dog, Sarah. A dog. He doesn't understand anything. You're fooling yourself. And if you believe I'm going to let you put our daughter in danger because of your attachment to some dog, you're crazy." The dog raised his head when he heard Michael yelling, his eyes steady. He stayed where he was. He didn't react, but he kept looking at the baby. Sarah felt her throat get tight. Something inside her was telling her that Michael had it wrong, even though she couldn't explain why. "If you're really that certain, then prove it," she said suddenly, her voice firm. Michael looked confused. "What?" "Prove it," she said again, getting up while holding her baby close. "Leave them together, 10 minutes, just the dog and her in the living room. We'll turn on the camera. If he's as unsafe as you claim, it'll show. And if you're mistaken, then you need to accept it. No more discussion about giving him away." Michael's mouth twisted into a nasty smile. "Okay, 10 minutes, and when that animal shows I'm right, you're going to be sorry you stood up for him." Sarah took a deep breath. She was scared, but she made herself act brave. "You're going to be the sorry one," she answered. A few minutes later, the baby was sitting on the floor in the center of the living room, with the small camera's red light blinking from the shelf. The retriever was resting several feet away, his golden coat spread across the carpet, his breathing slow and steady, his alert eyes focused on the child the whole time. Michael stood by the door with his arms crossed over his chest. "This is ridiculous," he said quietly. "You're gambling with her safety." "Be quiet," Sarah snapped, her voice shaking. "If you're so sure, then let's find out. Stop saying anything." He made an angry sound, then shut the door hard behind both of them. They went into the kitchen, setting the phone on the counter between them to watch the live video from the camera. On the phone screen, their daughter was making happy sounds, her little hands hitting the carpet as she moved back and forth. The retriever slowly sat up, his ears pointing forward. Michael's face showed disgust. "See that? Look at him. Staring like that. He's getting ready." Sarah moved closer to the phone, her hands wet with sweat. "He's watching over her, not getting ready. Those are different things. The baby laughed, stretching her arm toward him. The retriever moved a bit closer, his paws making soft sounds on the carpet, his nose coming close to her shirt. Sarah stopped breathing for a second. Michael whispered, "Here it comes. I knew it." But then the retriever did something they didn't expect. He moved to the side, putting his body between the baby and the edge of the coffee table, pressing his chest to the floor, creating a wall with his body. "What's he up to now?" Michael asked, his eyebrows pulled together. Sarah put her hand over her mouth. "He's keeping her safe." Michael shook his head hard. "That's stupid. Dogs don't protect like that. And then, in the video, something happened. The retriever's ears moved backward. His eyes looked quickly toward the left side of the room. His body became tense, his muscles going tight, lifting slightly off the carpet, staring at something moving on the floor. The baby made another happy sound, not knowing anything was wrong, clapping her hands, but the retriever's head followed the source of the noise carefully. From the side of the screen, the robot vacuum appeared, its round shape making humming sounds as it moved across the carpet. Michael leaned in, looking puzzled. "It's just the vacuum, so what?" Sarah's stomach felt bad suddenly. She remembered all the times the retriever had cried out and run away when the vacuum caught his fur. 2 times she'd seen him trapped by it, making angry sounds, trying to pull free while the spinning brush wound up his hair. He was afraid of the machine. He knew it could hurt. And now, in the video, the vacuum was going straight at the baby. The retriever's whole body went stiff, his chest getting bigger with a quiet growl, his eyes getting narrow, his ears lying flat. He got to his feet, walking toward her, his body getting lower, in a protective way. Michael opened his mouth, but no words came out. Sarah grabbed the counter edge, her hands white from gripping so hard, her heart beating fast. The camera's red light kept blinking, and as the robot vacuum got nearer, the retriever moved right in front of the baby, blocking her. The vacuum's sound got louder in the video, its spinning parts making noise as it rolled straight at the baby. She clapped her small hands, thinking it was a toy, making excited sounds as the plastic thing came closer on the carpet. But the golden retriever didn't treat it like a toy. His fur stood up, his ears pressed flat on his head, and with a clear purpose he positioned himself right between the baby and the coming machine. His body went down, his muscles tight, his chest completely blocking her from the moving danger. "Look at him," Sarah said softly, her voice shaking. He's keeping her safe." Michael's jaw got tight as he looked harder at the screen. "It's just a vacuum, Sarah. He's not—" Before he could say more, the retriever jumped forward with a loud bark that came through the phone speaker so quick it made both parents jump. The dog put his nose down and pushed the machine hard with his face. The vacuum jerked to the side, its computer getting mixed up, its wheels turning as it went a different way. The baby made another excited sound, bouncing on her fat little legs, happy about the noise. She hit her tiny hands on the retriever's back, laughing. The dog didn't look at her. He stayed still, watching the vacuum turn and move away on a different path, his chest going up and down with big breaths until it finally went out of sight in the video. The retriever then lay down on the carpet, moving around until his body was curved next to the baby's side, his back forming a wall between her and where the machine had been. He put his head flat on the floor, his eyes still looking at the other side of the room, ready in case the vacuum came back. Sarah's throat closed up as she held the counter, tears coming to her eyes. "Do you understand now, Michael?" Her voice broke through the quiet. "Do you finally understand what he's been doing?" Michael didn't say anything right away. His face had no color, his lips pressed together, his eyes fixed on the video. They both knew the retriever had good reason to be scared of the machine. It had pulled his fur more than once before, making him cry in pain until somebody turned it off. And now, with their baby by herself, he didn't wait. He'd faced something that had hurt him before, not to help himself, but to help her. On the screen, the baby reached out, her small hand grabbing his fur. He slowly turned his head to her, his eyes becoming gentle, and made a soft sound like he was telling her everything was okay. She laughed, putting her face against his back like he was the most comfortable pillow ever. Sarah's tears ran down her face. "He understood," she said quietly. "This whole time, he understood that thing could hurt her. He's been protecting her from it. That's why he stayed near her." Michael rubbed his hand on his face, his shoulders stiff. He had nothing to say. For weeks, he had said the dog was unsafe, a problem, something bad waiting to happen. He had already called the shelter, ready to give him up, and now, looking at the video, he saw the reality. Without the retriever, their daughter would have had nobody to protect her. "Show it again," Michael said in a rough voice. Sarah looked at him with surprise. "What? Show it again?" His voice was shaking. So she played the video again, both of them looking at the counter once more. They watched their daughter laugh, reaching for the golden fur again. They watched the retriever stand up, move forward, and push the vacuum away from her. The bark made the phone speaker rattle. The push sent the machine sideways and the baby stayed safe, laughing behind the protection of his body. Sarah pressed her sleeve against her eyes. "If the camera wasn't there, you would never have believed me." Michael's chest moved up and down hard. He held the counter edge until his hands turned white. For once, he didn't fight back. He didn't curse. He didn't blame anyone. He just stood there, quiet, humbled, deeply shaken by 10 minutes of proof. When the phone timer finally made a sound, Sarah ran to the living room, with Michael walking stiffly behind her. She got down on her knees, picking up the baby in her arms. The retriever stood up, his tail moving slowly, his eyes always on her face. Sarah touched his fur with her free hand, her voice breaking. "Good boy, you protected her." Michael stood in the doorway, his pride broken, his anger disappeared. He stared at the dog, this animal he had said was dangerous, this animal he had wanted to get rid of. His throat moved as he swallowed hard. The retriever came closer, smelling the baby's hair as she made happy sounds, safe in her mother's arms. Michael's voice finally came out, quiet and uncertain. I was mistaken." Sarah looked up with red eyes, but she didn't act superior. She didn't throw his earlier words at him. She just said softly, "You almost got rid of the only thing protecting her." Michael breathed out, shaky and ashamed. He slowly bent down, his hand hovering before finally touching the retriever's head. The dog stayed still, didn't pull away, just stood there, steady and peaceful. "You're staying here," Michael said quietly, his voice thick with emotion. "Forever." The baby clapped her hands like she was agreeing with the choice. Later that night, after the baby was sleeping and the house was silent, Sarah watched the video one more time with tears running down her face. She whispered into the darkness, her voice rough but full of thanks. "If the camera wasn't there, even I wouldn't have believed what you did." The retriever lay in a ball outside the nursery door, his eyes partly closed. His ears still pointed toward the quiet sound of the vacuum in the hallway closet. He wasn't resting because he was exhausted. He was resting because his work was finished. And from that moment on, nobody in that house ever questioned who the real guardian was. Did you enjoy this story? And tell us in the comments. If you were the parent, Would you have trusted the dog to protect your baby? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked the story, subscribe to this channel and leave a like. Thanks so much for listening. See you in the next video. Have a great day.